What's up, everybody? It's Luke James, not the singer. If you're looking to get your music reviewed, you can hit up this email that's right here. But today I'm going to hit you up with my thoughts and opinions on this new Benny the Butcher EP called The Plugs I Met. Now, Benny is a rapper who's coming out of Buffalo, and he's also a member of Griselda Records with Westside Gunn and Conway. And just last year, he put out his Tana Talk 3 album, which was one of my favorite projects of 2018. What you got on there was some of the most vivid, grimy, and gritty street narrative and storytelling that I had heard in quite a long time, as well as excellent production, most of which was handled by Alchemist and Derringer. And thankfully, you're getting the same sort of stuff on this, so Benny is staying very consistent. If you like that project or any of his past work, you're certainly going to like this EP. And if you haven't checked any of his projects, you could pretty much start anywhere, because I think he has a very solid discography so far. Some of those earlier projects I didn't listen to quite as thoroughly as this and Tana Talk 3, but they still had great tracks on there, so you could jump in wherever you want if you're not familiar with Benny. So on this project, Alchemist handles 2 of the tracks, including Took the Money to the Plug House. Here we get some very sparse keys and heavy drums, just that signature sound that you would expect from Alchemist. And then on 5 to 50, he comes through with that very eerie sound, just a minimalistic backdrop that works very nicely as Benny gets into his past. Both of these tracks here are the only solo records on the project, although 5 to 50 does have a woman named India doing a little bit of speaking throughout, and he's using both of these songs to speak on his trials and tribulations, just as a guy who came up doing a lot of grimy street shit, being in the dope game, to being where he is now. So, for example, you got bars on here about putting paper together like a staple gun and keeping 10 guns on him like Mad Max, some of that grimy shit. And then he spits about being a 3-time felon who now is running a legal business and doing his thing properly. So these tracks detail his come-up story, the same sort of stuff that you did get on Tana Talk 3. And he's one of those artists who is very vivid with it, man. We know a lot of rappers rap about their street life, selling drugs and doing this and that, but Benny is one of those few artists that you actually believe what he's saying because of how clear the details are. He really gets into all the stuff that he's gone through, breaks it down in a way that you can understand it even if you're not from the streets, and I like how he does that because that authenticity goes a long way, man, especially in this day and age where you have so many rappers who are faking everything, aren't even writing their own shit, etc., etc. So Benny really comes through and lets you know that he's not fucking around in that sense. And of course, once you saw the track list for this project, I'm sure you got excited like I did because there are plenty of amazing features all over it. On 18 Wheeler, the single, Benny and Pusha T come together to show the chemistry that they have, and Benny has a great bar when he spits, "If me and Push would have linked back when I was a dealer, that's an 18 Wheeler to my town from Virginia." Just a testament to how, even outside of the booth, they would have made a great collaboration in the dope game, not just on the mic. And then on Sunday School with 38 Spesh and Jada, we get another immediate standout. This shit right here is one of my favorite tracks of the year by far, and I think 38 Spesh had one of the best verses of the year on here, man. He absolutely snapped, like when he spits, "Niggas say they want gunplay cool, but they don't really want to go like it's Sunday School." That was a great bar. Obviously, that must be where the title came from, and he's got plenty of quotables all over it, so I can't get into all of them. And I liked how Jadakiss sounded on this track, man. He's coming through with that drug dealer rap as well. He's rapping about the importance of keeping the money and the drugs separate when you're running that type of operation, and hearing Jada on this really makes me wish he would make a full project of this sound, man. It seems like every time Jada drops a solo record, he's really getting into some trendy shit, some of those trap sounds, 808 bangers, maybe some more new school features, but I would love for Jadakiss to make a project just like this, nice and short, great lyricists on the features, and grimy ass beats from guys like Alchemist and Derringer. I just think Jada sounds way better and more comfortable when he's doing this sound. Maybe that's just me. I don't really want too much of that poppy, trendy shit from Jada. You know, I understand you got to do some of those tracks sometimes. I ain't hating on Jada, and his first album to me is like a borderline classic, but, you know, his last one didn't really stick with me too much. But this shit here, this is what Jada should do in my opinion. Now, on Dirty Harry, we got Conway coming through with some good bars. He's rapping about someone shooting at the back seat with something Lil Uzi sized. And RJ Payne, another feature on here, absolutely snaps, man. He's another guy who really impressed me with his verse because it was loaded with quotables. Like when he says, "You niggas gamble with life till that cannon blam at you, small-minded, blow out your brain and expand a nigga view." That's me butchering lines like I always do when I just read the shit, but that was one of my favorite lines on the whole project, and he has plenty of them. as you can see with this review, that's what I'm focusing on a lot, man, is the bars. Because really, I think the lyricism on here is really dope if you're just looking for clever wordplay, witty lines, vivid street narrative and imagery that I've mentioned a couple of times now. You're getting all that here. So this is a very traditional hip-hop project in that sense, and something that I do appreciate. Now, of course, we got to talk about Crowns for Kings, where we get a Black Thought feature, and he continues to show that he is one of the most natural MCs out. Whenever I hear Black Thought, it just sounds like he could rap for, a week straight and he wouldn't be bothered by it. He might need to stop to catch a breath once in a while and take some water, but when he flows, he is just so effortless and natural. Some of the greatest flows and schemes, and I like that line where he says, "The money I made from leaving microphones broke is probably on par with all of Escobar's coke." Which, he's made a lot of money in the game. Black Thought has been around forever. The stuff he did with the Roots, still going hard, very consistent. Definitely one of those guys who would be in the all-time greats conversation if you were making like a top 20 list, in my opinion. Not just on the lyricism side of thing, but even impact and everything else he's done. But that would be a whole other story and a whole other video and topic. But I like that on there. And I got to shout out Benny for holding his own on this track, man. Benny really has great bars all over this project. I know I focused on the features a little bit. I have talked a bit about what Benny got into on those solo joints, but I was impressed that he held his own so good on this track with Black Thought. Like when he spits about how he has more bars than the niggas who got hit with the Reagan laws. Then he has this other line where he says he was weighing hard back when Nicki Minaj was in a training bra. All kinds of fun lines and quotables from everybody on this project. Love this shit. This beat is really dope as well. It has these gentle strings and vocal samples throughout it that give it this more mellow feel when compared to some of the grimier cuts on here. So, that's me speaking on every track on here except the intro. That intro is just some dialogue. I don't really have too much to say about that, but sonically, man, this is a really dope, tight, concise project. All the features did their damn thing. Benny did his damn thing on here, and I'm going to go with a 4 out of 5. Now, I did think about a 4.5, man. I almost pushed that button and went there, but I really think Tana Talk 3 is a little bit better in my opinion. Shit still sounds really dope, and I'm excited to see what he does when it comes time for his next full-length project, because Benny is on a nice roll so far, man. He's been very consistent. But you guys check it out for yourself, and then hit me up in the comment section with your thoughts. And of course, make sure you do that good YouTube and social media stuff where you show me love and you show me lots of it. Thank you for watching, everybody. I will see you next time.